results, and she actually did. And it turns out she failed English. She had D7 in English. That is fail for WAEC. And so I remember what happened before her WAEC exams, how her guardian would always tell her to go and read her book. And for whatever reason, like, she had time, she had ample time. She was home alone most of the times, so she had ample time to read her book. And when they would come home, she would be watching TV or maybe sleeping. And I remember they were complaining about how she was not reading. Read, you have WAEC exam coming. And she wasn't taking it seriously. Now, a few times I also heard she'll be reading a novel. No, it's not one of those literature kind of books, for the exams. Just a normal novel. She'll just be reading. And now the result is out, and she had a D7 in English. So she's been acting like she's depressed. Like, you could tell. Nobody even had to shout at her or say anything. Like, it's as if her whole world has come crashing. Now she's facing the consequence of her refusing to read before the exams. And so, just looking at the way she's been acting, carrying herself, I was just thinking to myself, there are actually kids who, it might not necessarily be an exam that they failed. It might be something else they did. And naturally, not that their parents are meting out some form of disciplinary action on them. No, but naturally, they're bearing the consequence of their action or inaction. And sometimes, there are stories even online, perhaps not from this part of the world, mostly from the Western world, where you hear kids who take their lives. In this part of the world, right? Some of the stories we hear are stories about young people in school, in the universities, actually, mostly tertiary institutions. People taking their lives for whatever reason. It could be a young girl who has been told over and over, stay off social media, or be careful with what you're doing online, or whatever. And then somehow she was careless enough and carefree enough to send pictures of herself naked to someone she trusted. And then, boom, the person is sending it to people she knows. Now she's bearing the consequence of that. Of course, shame, right? And for some other child, it could be stop going there, stop doing that, and then they fall down, break a leg, literally break a leg. And now they're in the hospital. They can't even walk from here to there. They now have to stay in their bed. Because now you can't move. So nobody's even telling you to stop jumping. No, you can't even move. Perhaps I'm giving extreme cases here. But for this conversation, sometimes it's also the extreme cases. Okay, maybe not very extreme, maybe not extreme, but to the child, it's a very serious issue. So for someone who was supposed to write an exam and he wasn't reading, writes the exams, results are out, and they didn't do well. And this child is feeling very, very bad over what has happened. How do you, as a parent or a guardian or someone close to this child, help this child who is being overcome by the consequences of their action or inaction to cope? How do you help this child to cope? So sometimes you find kids, they become withdrawn. They're no longer playing with anybody. They're no longer jovial. Even the usual things that would, make them smile can't even get them to chuckle. They become withdrawn. And some of them, as a result of the consequence of their action, they become hostile as a result of the results that they are facing. So they now become hostile. And this behavior can give rise to other negative behaviors as well. They become hostile to themselves and to other people. And these other emotions or negative emotions and behaviors, it can be detrimental to this child's well-being and also to other people around the child. So how do you handle this child who seems to be overwhelmed by this consequence they are facing? I know in Nigeria the normal thing is Shebi, you have seen it now. Since that we're telling you to read, you do not read. D7. Oh yeah, now come and be reading novel. Come and watch TV. See your results. Your mates, they are, some. It's like a normal practice around. You help the child to compound their woes. As if what they are facing is not enough. I heard a mother scream at the child who was running down the stairs or so, and then she says, "Who is running down that stairs? See, if you fall down and injure yourself, I will beat you on top." I was like, "You will beat the child on top? The injury?" And she said, "Yes, I will beat him. This boy will not." Okay. So I was just imagining, okay, fine. Let's assume this boy now fell down and gets a fracture. Or maybe not just even gets... And it really gets bad that maybe it's even so bad they might even have to amputate the leg. So yeah, what do you do? This child is facing the consequence of their action. You said stop running, stop jumping, and they did. Now they're hurt. And they're seeing it. It could be something as minor as, when you're handling toddlers, how they can be. Stop it, don't touch that. Go this way. And they will go and touch that. And then the child gets a cut. And then they're seeing blood. And then they're crying. So that's a very mild case. But for that toddler, it's not mild. They're feeling so much pain. How do you handle that child? So that's the conversation right now. I want to know how you will handle that. Is it that depending on the age of the child, you would now... Is it that your response to that situation would depend on the age of the child? If it's a toddler, you're going to be sweet and nice and cool. But if it's an older child, I'm going to scold you on top of it and even beat you if it's necessary and still give you more punishment if I have to, so that it will sink in. Massage the problem and rub it and... Yeah. So tell me what you would do to help a child who seems to be overwhelmed by the consequences of their action that they are facing. Let's talk. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0007. 0817 923 0007. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0809 030 6416. Okay, so I just had to look up something about... maybe in case you're not really getting it, this conversation is centered around the mental health of your child. So let's not overlook that part. Perhaps I was supposed to mention it at the beginning, but let me talk about it now. So I needed to find out the what's it called now? Data all right, for children, youths, or who are depressed. I just had to look up I just wanted to find out the rate at which children are depressed and all of that. So a particular one I came across from, where's this one? CDC. This should be in the US. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So they have a particular one they took from 2016 to about 2019. And they said 4.4% of children aged 3 to 17 years were diagnosed with depression. And that is really crazy. How can a 3-year-old be depressed? What would make a 3-year-old to be? What are they thinking about? All right, we have Mr. Zion on the line. Hi, Mr. Zion. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Welcome aboard.
Actually, it is even depressing to hear that such age is depressed.
Could you say that again?
Speaking, I say it's even depressing to hear that a child of that age is depressed.
Oh, okay.
You see, that is why I love the African culture, tradition, and belief. From childhood, you have been trained already to take care of yourself. You have heard this song. I think the lyrics is, it is when I don't have food to eat. That is our motivation. When no food to eat is our motivation. You know what that means? We have been equipped. We have faced all the challenges. So what else are we facing in future we have not faced as children? For the parents to help the child, then take the child out, traveling. Most of our today children are not benefiting traveling because daddy is busy, mom is busy, everybody is busy. And most of the children, they don't even truly have the kind of friends they need to have. And they come out from school, get down, lock the gate, make nobody go out. You are harming the child. Can you open the gate, let them go and play with other kids? Let them associate with people. If this depressed child and have other kids from the street, he would have met somebody that has got the same grade with him or her and will have a reason to console. After all, nobody will let me get tea now. Say Mr. Zion picking said get tea for the subject. All of us did the same boats, no Allah.
Go for WhatsApp group. Okay, Mr. Zion, I have commercials coming up, please. Perhaps you could call back. Thank you very much.
In times like this, the smart ones go solar. Think solar. Think Solar World Electric Technology Limited. Light up your homes, business, banks, schools.
Okay. So we're still talking about helping a child who seem to be overwhelmed by the consequences they're facing for their actions or inactions, right? And I already told you before now that between 2016 and 2019, the CDC in the US gathered that they had about 2.7 million children who were depressed, aged 3 to 17 3 to 17. Why are they depressed? What is depressing them? And so I've given you scenarios, right? Examples of what could lead to that. One of the examples is of a child, just finished senior secondary school and wrote the WAEC. And now results is out. She had a D7 in English, all subjects. That is a fail. Because, darling, for every course you're going to study in any university, they want you to have English and mathematics, at least credit pass. And you did not even get a credit in English. So you can imagine what that young girl is going through right now. After all the weeks of being pushed around in the house, go and read. And she did not read when she was supposed to. And now this is the result. It is not the parents punishing her. It is what it is, like Dave would say on WhatsApp. And now she's withdrawn. And I don't know if they're even taking account of that this girl that, normally was. So we could say that, for now, let her flog herself first. At least it's what she did to herself. Should be when they are telling them to, they will not. When they are advancing them, all right. So sometimes we really do not give enough attention to some of these emotions that, young people exhibit. Yeah, especially when they're no longer toddlers. Or even when they're toddlers, you're like, that's how they used to behave. Always throwing tantrums, always. And then, especially among the teenagers, parents really don't seem to be paying so much attention to what they are exhibiting. Every parent seems to want to have, I say seem to. So it necessarily doesn't mean that every parent actually wants to. So every parent seems to want to have a cool, quiet, calm home. They don't want troublesome children. I'll be making us and scattering everywhere. So when the child is quiet and he's not running temperature, he's not sick, thank goodness. But the child might be depressed and you don't know. But hey, it's natural. People feel low, feel high, it happens. All this, it's part of the emotions, right? But when you now observe that this is going on for a long period of time, then you need to pay attention. So I'm asking now what you do while you have now paid attention. How do you handle it? How do you help the child? I'm taking your calls though, so you can send messages and you can also call in. The numbers to call again, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0002, and 0817 923 0007, 0817 923 0007. For WhatsApp messages, send them to 0809 030 6416. All right. So get on Facebook as well and drop a comment. So this child is overwhelmed. The child is beginning to show that what they are going through right now is too much for them to bear. They're beginning to regret their actions or inactions. So at what point do you come in? And how? What do you do? What do you say? How do you salvage that situation? Are you going to, scream depression out of the child's head? Yeah, we are Africans. Mr. Zion says that here we train our children to face life right from when they are even still babies. Start teaching them hard life, so that when they face issues of life, depression will not come in. But children are actually getting depressed. Teenagers are doing drugs today because someone introduced them to it and told them that instead of always feeling like this, just take this thing, guy. Just take this thing, babe. You just take it and you feel better. Children are depressed. And sometimes it is as a result of what they did, or what they refused to do, or what they didn't do when they were supposed to do. And And so they're facing the consequences of that behavior. So how do you handle that this child? 0817-923-0002. The network is good, all right? So I'm seeing the calls drop in, but hey, keep those calls coming, all right? And remember, we're live on Facebook as well. So how do you help a child to handle feelings of depression? If we are to put it that way. How do you help a child to overcome it? They did something wrong. They're facing the results of what they did. Perhaps you're not even the one punishing them, but as a result of what they did, yeah, you add 1 + 1, you're getting 2 at the upper hand. So, manage yourself. How do you help this child? Courts is calling back. Hi, Courts from Choba. Good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, this situation of this young girl now, depression is a medical condition. We have to forget about the exam she failed and look away to get her out of depression, because depression can lead to many things. Suicide can happen, or other medical conditions could be worse. So let us begin to tell her good things. Exam, if you can realize yourself and study, you can still pass exam next time. That's a second chance. It can be the best. The battle is safe now. So we have to leave Blinken out of this right now, because it's a very situation that needs medical attention. That's what I think.
Interesting. Thank you very much for calling. Wow, Court. Chris, good afternoon. Ooh, that happened. Chris, please do well to call back. Thank you very much. 0817-923-0002. So Court is sounding like one of those, what do they call them now? There's a word people use for those kind of parents. And some people don't like those kind of parents. Those kind of parents who want to talk with their children when they should talk at the children. You know, there's a difference, right? Talking at and talking with. It's not the same thing. There are many people who would rather talk at the children. Tell them. Instead of having a conversation with them. Yeah. So having that, sitting down and looking at your child, even though you're angry, even though you are disappointed. Like in this case, I spent money. Transporting you to school to write that exam. And this exam happened when, that initial increase in the pump price of petrol. We had to go through all of that. Abby? Was it subsidy removal as well? I can't even remember. But then, after all that money, this is what you came home with. You think that we pluck money from the tree? I tell you to study. There's nothing else you're doing in this house. And look at the useless reports or results you came home with. I wonder what you even have been doing in that school. Have you even been going to school? Oh well. So how would you handle that situation though? And some other situations. I've also found myself in that situation where my toddler chooses to do what I have said over and over and over. Don't do it. And then she does it and gets injured. Sometimes I feel like, should I beat her first and then console her? But then I always tell myself, nah, you must console her first and then tell her, you see why I said you should not. Oh my goodness me. So what do you do? And don't come and give me popular, you want to sound like every other person. And, people used to say you talk with the children. You're not calling and tell us you talk with the children. You know that you will not talk with. You are going to sit that child down and rain all the blames and perhaps all the abuses on the child. And for the next 1 month or more, there's nothing that girl does that will be okay. The girl laughs. You remind her that that's how she went laughing and failed WAEC. The girl sleeps. Normal sleep that everybody sleeps. So that's how you were sleeping while people were reading. And you came home with bad results. Yay. The girl is eating. You remind her that that's how she was eating when she was supposed to be reading. That's why she failed WAEC. Oh my God. So what do you do? And if you're the kind of parent, all right, please tell me what you think, why you would, handle it that way. Remind the child every day that they failed. You're a failure. You're a failure. Tell us why, why you think that is the best way to handle the situation. Perhaps it's something that may have worked for you. So tell us why you think that's the best way to handle the situation. Israel is calling from Aouda. Mr. Israel, turn off your radio set. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
See, in this area, East Nigeria, I am talking to you now as a father. When a child does not do well,
yeah,
you don't need to be playing with the child. You will caution the child and let the child know that he or she have not tried. Whether it's an exam, whether it's other thing. But that does not stop you not to show them fatherly love or motherly love. There are things that normally bring people together. Then, after before you can start encouraging such one, that next time you can do that. This is why I did this, so that you'll be able to be serious. It's not all that good to be overtaking children. Why not? There are challenges ahead of us.
Yeah.
So that's my contribution.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Israel. All right. Chibu is calling from Trans-Amadi. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Go ahead.
I really want to come. We will not talk to my child. We talk to my child. If I'm talking to my elder, I will talk with my elder. I talk to my elder. And if I am rebuking my child, if the child is misbehaving, and I keep on telling you, don't do this, continue, and anything classes happen to you, I will be looking at you. And this time you misbehave, we get away with the previous one that happens to you. Another one happen, I will remind you. This is what happened the other time. You know how you landed? And put it across to the person. If you look at me and you feel I have guilt you.
Oh, come on. The line is breaking.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now. It's better.
What I'm saying is that I can talk with my own child. I will talk to my child.
Why won't you talk with your child?
Don't do this.
Why won't you talk with your child? Why do you think it's...
How can I talk
really,
with my child?
What's the problem?
If I'm talking with my senior, my father, or whoever that seniors me, I will talk with that person. Like I'm a Christian. I can't go and say, God.
Oh, that is happening
Talk
again.
with my God. But this one, my child, anybody I senior, I will talk to.
All right, Mr. Chibu, just because your line is breaking, but I already got an idea of what you're saying. So he says he cannot talk with his child. He will talk to. He's even talking to or talking at safe. His child. You've done something wrong. I cannot be talking with you. What am I talking with you for? You sit down there and you listen, young man. People that have those kind of fathers that can blow grammar. Oh my God. Okay, I guess that's part of the things that actually I really needed him to explain, right, further, because I know people who would say, hey, if my father should hear that. There are people who the fear of their father is the beginning of wisdom. And there are people who the fear of their father is the beginning of wisdom. And then I will explain. So the first wisdom I meant is the wisdom to ensure they stay out of trouble. And the second wisdom I meant is the wisdom to cover their tracks properly so that their father will not get to hear that they'll be messing up. Because they know the man is going to rain down hell on them. So yeah, they'll be misbehaving, but they keep it far away from home. In fact, sometimes their mothers are their Not accomplice. There's that thing countries do. When I remember, I'll tell you. But basically, their moms know that they're doing this, right? That they're like that. But their father will never know. Because if he knows, he will cut off their ear and give them to eat. All right, so this child has done something bad. This child has refused to do something they were supposed to do. And now they're facing the consequences of their actions or inactions. So how do you help the child to overcome perhaps slipping into depression? Some of them become hostile. They might not become hostile to the seniors, their parents at home. They might become hostile to every other person who's younger than them or other people who are their age mates. Yeah, some of them might not show that hostility where their parents are. But they show it when they're outside. Because they're dealing with something. And sometimes in that situation where this child has actually goofed, that is when they get into trouble. Because naturally they are feeling regret, disappointed even in themselves. They're feeling remorse. They are overtaken by the sadness of what is happening to them. And they just need someone to at least tell them that, okay, you've done wrong, you've done bad, but hey, it's not the end of the road. Sometimes parents don't know that kids also want someone to tell them the same way you would tell somebody that was duped of millions of naira because you don't want the man to die. You're not going to console him. You will not tell him, Shebi, you don't used to hear what? They will tell you not to be, you went to, and now money have. No, you will not do that. You will go there and console your friend because you want one chief to die. Everybody is being nice to chief. Nobody wants to tell him the hard truth. Chief is your foolishness. But then you go home and you're telling your child who did not read and failed an exam or who was not careful with the phone you bought them or the wristwatch you got them and it got lost. And then you tell him it's your stubbornness and your foolishness and they already know that they were stubborn and foolish. But you will tell them because you feel he's a boy, cannot be having high blood pressure now. It's chief that might have high blood pressure. So we will not tell chief that his foolishness is what has kept him here. In fact, people will rally around and gather money to give chief so that he will not die. But when it comes to children, we really do not pay that much attention. So this conversation basically is to draw your mind back home. All right? To let you know that even kids suffer depression. Even kids, their blood pressure is important. Pay attention to all of that. So tell me what you would do. The man who said, I will not talk with my child. I'm going to talk to my child. I wish you would call back and explain to me. And if you're also a parent who also adopts that measure, that's your way, that's your modus operandi. You don't talk with your children. You don't sit them down and ask them how they're doing and get a feedback from them and ask them what they think about some of the rules you have placed in the house. Get a feedback from them and ask them about the way you behave towards them and what they don't like about your neighborhood, because you're the one paying house rent. Nobody now can talk to you. It's the space you have provided. They should manage it and shut up. You don't want to have conversations with your children. You talk to them. So if that is your way, could you tell me why? I've heard people say my children can never be my friends. They're my children, they're not my friends. I'm like, okay, all right. But you're sure going to be friendly to them, right? It's not just to provide and dish out commands. So tell me. A child is feeling down, really low. 1 week has gone. It's the second week. And this child is still down there. What happened? I was told not to drive my bicycle outside our gates. And you did. And perhaps a dog pursued the child. And the child left the bicycle and ran. Bicycle have scattered. And they're not buying you another one. We're not fixing it. In fact, it's beyond repair. This child is feeling down. How do you help the child? That's what I'm asking. Jones Peace on Facebook says, there is a popular cliche, experience is the best teacher. Yes, I kind of subscribe to that because it seems most persons actually need an experience to learn better. So we just let them go through some challenge so that they will learn and advise themselves better. But nevertheless, we as parents should still bring them close and make them see reasons why they were advised initially, rather than making jest of them. Also, the kind of relationship you build with your kids determine how they relate or open up to you. And these kids learn from what they see their parents do and live by it. At this point, you can't blame them when they start acting strangely. Wow. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0007. How do you help a child who is obviously overwhelmed by the consequences of their actions or inactions? Pastor Ibito from Port Harcourt says, good afternoon, Ma. We all need to show love, no matter what the case. Acting negative to them goes a long way, far much more than you think. Keep correcting and showing them care and love, young adults or toddlers. All right, thank you very much, Pastor. Hi, Chibu, welcome back. Chibu from Aoda, good afternoon. Hello. Oh, okay, you're there. Good afternoon. Ooh, the network is really good.
I'm hearing you.
I can't. Okay, you say you can hear me. All right.
Hearing.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Your line is still not very clear. All right, so perhaps you could just send me messages on WhatsApp. All right, so the WhatsApp number again is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. All right, Anonymous says, feeling overcome by the consequences of mistakes doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it's your experience with those around you that drives you to overreact. I recall a story of a lady who got into an accident with her cousin in Abuja. The cousin who was driving called his parents, who first asked if they were okay before asking of the car. Then they told him they loved him. The lady was stunned that her cousin did not get abused. If it was her, she would have been afraid to call her parents, as they would have been cursing her out and focusing on the cost of repairing the car. My husband and I have had a pact from day one to make our home a safe space. I didn't make all my WAEC papers at first sitting, and I'm someone to be reckoned with in life today. It's not that deep. Don't worry, there was no in the message. I'm the one that added that one. All right, thank you, Anonymous, for that one. Livinus Njoko from HA says, any child that went into depression due to failure has a good conscience. Really? It was out of remorse, which she or he could not handle by themselves, that they went into depression. Therefore, such a child needs consolation, reassurance, and advice from the parents or guardian. It is not good to worsen their condition by reminding them of their failure. Well, that's a message from Livinus Njoko. All right, thank you very much, Livinus Njoko. La 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 la. So how about you as a parent? What would you do in this situation? This child is obviously facing the consequence of their action, and they just can't help it. You know, it's the same way I feel about a child who just received a gift. You know, I know people, and yeah, it is good, it is awesome and beautiful to teach your children to say thank you, right? But then I like to also it's not like giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's you know, they say read the room. So it's also that thing of just looking and realizing that this child is What's the word for what I'm looking for? This child is grateful. Yeah. Without the child even saying thank you, you can tell that the child is grateful. And then some parents would, in between that, say, so what do you say? They say, thank you. You know? So, yeah. But then you don't dwell on my friend, will you say thank you? Is that how you used to receive gift? Oh, it's not the time for that. The child is grateful. Yes, they've not said it, but they are grateful. It's the same thing. The child is acting low. Yes, they regret their action, even without saying, I regret my action, or even coming to tell you, I'm sorry I failed my exams. You can tell that they regret, that they did not read. You can tell that the child is feeling sorry for what they were supposed to do that they didn't do. You can tell. So by the time if you're talking to, so that it will enter well, although sometimes it's good though, talk to. So you rub it in case it does not reach everywhere. You rub it where? So that it will reach everywhere. When you're now satisfied, before you now start perhaps dishing out advice and being all nice. But for how long? Really? For how long? There are parents who really do not know how to control their emotions, and they don't even know that it is a problem that they have. First of all, you have a problem. As an adult, you cannot control your emotions. That is why you are this angry that your child broke glass. You've been angry since last month. You have entered new month. New month is finishing. You're still angry that child did that thing. Uncle, even yourself, you are depressed. You need therapy. You need help. Because you don't know. So you too, you need help. So sometimes, some of those reactions or some of those things we think we're doing to correct our children, if you sit down and really ask yourself, all right, I think it's something every parent should always do. Sometimes you sit down and actually ask yourself, this way I'm feeling about this thing, have I not been angry for too long? Have I not held on to this thing for too long? I was listening to Joyce Meyer the other day, and she said something about that. About sometimes how we tell ourselves that you're not angry. But then when conversations come up, you now find out that the thing is coming from within. Kind of anger. The madams that used to correct their house girls and all that. You find out that you still remember that thing. That's the same thing you're still carrying inside you. This girl can be annoying. You have a problem. You've been angry since 3 months ago. So it's not a bad thing that you have a problem. Okay, so don't even get me wrong. But the thing is that you have a problem. So yes, right now you have realized it. So you should now consciously start working towards it. There are people who have been hurt by someone they love, and they've been angry for a while. They're working on it, or they worked on it, and after some time, depending on, how long it takes them, they overcome it. Someone like Joyce Meyer, the pastor. She was angry at her father for years. It took a while before she was able to overcome it. So maybe the problem is not that the child failed an exam. Maybe the problem is not that the child is facing any kind of consequence for their action or inaction. Maybe you have a problem that the child is reacting to. They can't even trust you to be their safe haven. You're a father, you're a mother, but you are a lion, a wolf. You eat everybody. You're not a shepherd. That is a problem. And so you need to fix it. All right? Elda says, hi Constance, I love your style of sarcasm. I know you were a naughty girl when you were younger. It gives me joy the way you express it. I used to be troublesome. When a child does not fear the fire, allow the fire to hurt the child a little. A good lesson will be learned from that, Elder. All right, thank you very much, Elder. I've actually seen a video, a snippet, where a child was trying to touch electric, and the mom was trying to get the child to not touch the wire. It was actually naked wire. And the father says, no, allow him. Oh, go on. Yes, exactly. Your guess is as good as mine. He touched it and he felt it. And the man says, yeah, that's it. You don't need to say anything. So sometimes when the child is facing the consequence of their action or inaction, you don't need to say anything. They're already facing it. They have seen it. Come and talk on top. Yeah. You are no AP. I gotta go. All right, the last message, and then that'll be it. Good day, Constance. You see, one thing I believe is when something has gone wrong, it has gone wrong already. One cannot correct what has gone wrong by being harsh again. One needs to take it easy and devise a way to correct it. Every man or woman should know that however their children behave, they actually took after them. So if every man or woman know this, then we just have to take it all easy to resolve issues around us and our children. This is what I normally tell my husband, yet he does not want to understand. Oh well, keep praying for the man and keep talking. It will be fine. Thank you so much for your calls and your messages. Thank you for listening. In case you didn't call or texted. Yeah, I know. A lot of people listen, but they do not call in. I don't think I've ever called a radio station in my life. Oh my God. All right, remember to follow us on social media. Get on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. We have a website. In case you've never been there, please visit. All right, you will love that website. So many articles. Yeah, www.nigeriainfo.fm. And then on X, that's Twitter, Nigeria Info PH. On Instagram and Threads, Nigeria Info FM _PH. That's it. For me, you can find Threads and LinkedIn. The news comes up. That's Rivers Today. And after that, Kalada will be here with Hard Facts. And I'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. on the Midday Cruise. Till I see you. God bless you. Enjoy your weekend.